Today I want to talk about windmills being self-regulating. And what this means is, if you look up here, you see that the wheel, which normally faces the wind to turn, now the tail is parallel with the wheel. The tail normally, when the windmill is open and functioning, is pointing the wheel into the wind. So I'm going to open it up so you can see the difference. So I'm releasing the brake lever, and you look up above. So that pipe there is dead center. The main shaft is 3 inches to the left of dead center, and the pivot bolt on the tail is 3 inches to the right of dead center. And the tail is held in place by that governor spring right there. And here's a closer look at it, this governor spring, which is attached to the tailbone. Here is the pivot bolt. And here is the main shaft. Now what this means when the wind is blowing a nice steady 10 or 15 miles per hour, the wheel turns at a good steady pace. The tail is out at 90 degrees from the windmill and keeps it pointed into the wind. Now let's say we get a big gust of wind. What happens is, because the wheel is positioned 3 inches to the left of center, the additional wind pressure causes it to fold in, and the tail pulls it out of the wind a little bit. So the additional wind pressure on the wheel, because the wheel's off to the left of center, blows it out of the wind. Then once the wind pressure subsides, this spring will pull the tail back out at 90 degrees, and the wheel will face the wind once again. So this keeps the wheel turning at more or less a steady pace, a steady number of revolutions. But if it didn't have this feature, then if a big wind came up, it would just keep turning faster and faster, and it would eventually tear itself up. So this is a safety feature that was designed by windmill manufacturers way back in the 1800s. Now this kind of regulation is the most common. The wheel and tail set to opposite sides of center with a coiled spring as a governor spring to keep it pointed into the wind. This is the most common way. Other windmills regulate differently, but they all have some way of protecting themselves from damage in high winds. Of course, if you let your windmill run night and day, all bets are off. It's eventually going to tear itself up. But this at least is a method of protecting the windmill during use. We all need a way of being self-regulating when it comes to the news and all that's going on in our world. Because sometimes I feel like I am about to spin out of control, especially when I see the latest outrageous thing that's going on. And if we aren't smart enough to unplug and to do like this windmill, to face out of the wind so that we don't end up spinning out of control, then we've got nobody to blame but ourselves. Now some people say, I've got to stay informed, I've got to know what's going on. If we watch the news 24/7, we're not guaranteed we're going to get the truth. What we will get is a head full of whatever that news station wants us to see and hear. And it's not a guarantee that it's the truth. So if you feel like maybe you're about to spin out of control because of everything that's going on in the world today, it's all right to disconnect for a while, because we can't be still and know God's presence if our eyes and our ears are full of all the noise, or if we're joining our voices with all of the screaming people all around the world. We can't hear the voice of God. So this is a prayer of Elizabeth Ann Seton, who was born in New York City in 1774. Oh my God, forgive what I have been, correct what I am, and direct what I shall be. From break of day I seek thee till the end of night. All is solitary where you are not, and where you are is full of joy. Amen. It's a wonderful, simple, short prayer, and one that I needed so much today. So thanks for joining me. Prayers for your peace and peace for our world, and we'll see you again tomorrow. God bless you.